Aster on this one, but that's because America's asleep, right?
It has to be, right? I mean, it's also the fact that Timbersaw is kind of a bad hero, and we got to watch a lot of NA Dota, and actually a lot of Timbersaw. We did Kings Cup, and I believe Moo had the only winning record on it, though, and he's on that hero, so.
We saw a lot of Timbersaw during that Kings Cup. There was the surfacing of the, you know, big bruising support duos. You know, we saw a lot of the Axe and Centaur and all these fatties picked up during Kings Cup time that Timbersaw didn't get to see a lot of play, and I was surprised to not see it up until this point now for this event. But now Moose says, why not now?
Yeah, and I think the panel kind of touched on it. It's a best of one. Just don't worry about, well, you kind of have to worry about the other team's draft, but just focus on yourself. You get Forev, this Marana, who went just beyond godlike in almost every single game he played on Wind and Rain in those the EU TI qualifiers. Like, he's a monster, and then you get Moo on this. And you get Brawl on a hard carry, right? When he played that TB, they won the game. Like, just put Brawl on a hard carry from the middle lane. He seems to do good. It could do it, but then on the other side, you got this middle Tiny, and middle Tiny doesn't really lose the lane. And we have just seen him straight up take over games.
Aster have put together quite a strong draft here. Sylar and Spectre. I mean, that is a match made in heaven himself. A man with wealth of experience in carrying out games. Probably feels better now, right? I know he's a little under the weather.
Yeah, exactly. That's like you said, right? So, yeah, he's was under the weather. Now he's like, you know, it's time to go. Even though it's raining outside, he's good, and that's what matters. But yeah, putting Sylar on a super hard carrying a best of one, I mean, I don't see a much better idea. That's a genius idea. Damn, he's getting work.
Pretty frisky on Fenrir right here. They're trying to zone this Undying all the way back. They went full aggro with this setup. At least for now, it looks like March is going to go ahead and take his lead. Head right to that bottom lane, and we're back to a classic 2-1-2 here.
Yep. And guess what's bottom? It's going to be, you talk about classic, it's going to be the Bane Marana combo, which, I mean, that's been going around since about 2008 now.
That is a Marana mount and a half right there. I see a different mount every game, and that's some sort of Galaxy Dragon. All right.
Yeah. Not as good as the Bunny, but it's still a pretty cool mount. The thing, the guy I'm looking out for, though, is Bobica. This guy, when they win games, he rotates, he does everything. He secures the first lane, goes middle, secures that lane. I mean, I kind of miss his 4 Monkey King, but his Earthshaker is a beast.
Just going to say the same thing. This guy's a trendsetter in his own right, and one of the better 4 players in the game.
Yep.
Probably one of the best 4 players to come out of China, too.
Yeah, I think so. I remember during that Monkey King era, it was literally him and IG Vitality dogfights. Like, those two guys were just like, what are these guys playing, and how are they winning with it? But it worked out for him.
We'll see how J.Storm are going to be able to manage to get that potential support rotation as we see fisticuffs here, early swing in action. Moo taking it to him, 7-1 CS early on. No one really kind of escaping from the pack, but Aster are getting just the slightest CS advantage in each lane.
Yep, the only real big one is middle right now. It is 9-7. 7 denies already. That means he's denied. He's only missed 3 denies. That is, I mean, that's tiny. That's why, like, I like him middle. He wins the first 4 waves, like, guaranteed.
Look at those level differences already just based on those denies. You don't think they have a big impact? You don't think this is part of the reason why players are calling out that denies mean a little too much?
Yep.
7.2?
Just a full level above it, 3 waves in. Yeah, not too bad.
Their adjustments may have to be made. We'll have to see. But it just goes to show how frugal things could be just in that CS phase.
Oh, and Milan bullies out Fenrir from the top lane on Undying. That's going to be the wait, why does Undying have a Wraith band? All right. Well, it's news to me, but it's whatever.
You know, it got that Aquila coming, Grant.
I
the
guess
Undying Aquila.
Oh, it's Spectres. My bad. Yep, it is Spectres.
Oh,
just picking it up for him. It's so weird, though. He has to run all the way back. With his health potion, he's bringing all the regen and his Wraith band. That works out. I guess that's why it's okay to TP instead of just suicide. So you know you're helping your Spectre.
Long walk back, though, and Sylar's just going to have to be a little cautious. Doesn't seem like Milan's really taking too much advantage early on at the time being here. And the pull from the bottom lane here. Successful for March. Obviously going to get his own approach here from Baboka. Blocks it out with the Fissure, and he's going to be happy to kind of try to pull the aggro his way, but good move from March there with the sleep into the arrow. Some heavy harassment here. I don't think they have enough firepower to go for any sort of finish, though. There's a finish, though. It is top lane, where we're going to be seeing Moo pick up that first blood. Milan is still in a bit of trouble here, and they get it done. It's Fenrir sapping it down with the decay.
Yep, that's Sylar just waited like 3 more seconds. The Wraith Band was here, the healing spell was there, but he couldn't hand it off until right when he got here. But hey, Moo gets the first blood, and they needed that, because bottom lane right now, Necro's dominating the Mirana, middle lane, Tiny's dominating the PL. Top lane's pretty much the only lane they're doing well in, so they need to do very well in this lane.
Yeah. I mean, that's not the end of the world. Do you think it's not the end of the world for the Spectre at the moment?
No,
but
it's
definitely got to hurt just a little bit here.
I mean, if you get off to a good start of Spectre, you can run over a game. Now it's going to have to be back to the standard game. Oh, we'll sit here for 10 minutes as I get beaten lane, and then I'll TP bottom, and then I'll start farming finally.
Yeah. Pretty
Systematic.
Tended pulls here happening from each side. And they continue to harass and do some work under the tower, not making anything easy for Sylar while possible.
Here's one thing, if you're a pub player at home, if you're having a tough time middle, he buys, Bryle actually buys his own ward right there, flies it middle and plays it down. Yeah. He just wants to make it better for himself. Sometimes you just got to do that, you know? Leave your support some gold.
See Tiny tossing, creeps on forward, even gives him a nice little range creep for him to easily last it down, but still 27 now, 27-16. 19-3. That is, you know, Dendy TA numbers of the past, I guess. He used to be just a deny monster.
That's why it's weird. I know on earlier panels they're talking about how they didn't really want to see EG run that tiny middle, but he just dominates pretty much every hero just because tree grab's so good. Just, you get every range creep deny, almost guaranteed.
Yep. Well, he'll get to go back to the shrine and heal on up. A little bit of breathing room for Bryle to kind of work in that mid lane for now. No heavy frisky movement for the time being here. No heavy rotations, just some casual trades back and forth between these laning supports.
And I think, I mean, honestly, J.Storm might be happy with that because they do have two supports. Like, Bane's okay in lane, but you want to get that 6, you actually have rotation. But getting a Phoenix early level 6 without having to move or be pressured is pretty damn good because Phoenix is not a good laner.
No, not at all. He's getting some good levels early on. So it's going to be nice. And what do you think for Moo this game? Typically, you could be stuck in a situation where you have to go against a lot of silences and you have to favor utility, lotuses and Yules and such. Do you still consider that, you think, in this game on the Timber Saw? Or can he go just... He's got queued up a Bloodstone, so is he going to go straight snowball-y?
You got to go for a hood, especially against a Tiny. Like, he has the Bloodstone queued up, but if he goes his item, I guarantee it's going to be rough. We saw this a lot, too, during King's Cup, where you get Bloodstone and then you die once, and all of a sudden you're like, wait, if I had a hood, I wouldn't have died. Now I have a 5-charge Bloodstone. It feels very, very greedy.
Yeah.
But Necro bottom's going to have treads. Necro's getting a ton of fire. It's going to be Necro and Tiny are just absolutely having a field day right now.
Yep, obviously, 2 of those 3 lane advantages going the way of Aster right now. But I imagine J.Storm can't just let the game continue to unfold this way. What is their opportunity to kind of like make action happen? Or is there an opportunity for someone to rotate, somebody able to make something happen? Is it like Forev, for example, on the Mirana?
I think they're just going to be fine farming. Maybe they want... I think maybe they should rotate the Mirana top. They are going to try to go on this Spectre, but we'll run away. Moo with that sad little Timber chain.
Got the shock from though. Does manage to connect. It slows him down. He needs a little bit more. There's the Timber chain. Not able to get close enough for a good whirling death, though.
Tiny's here.
And,
a big boy.
Milan's done for sure. Tiny's coming for that chicken, and he gets it.
And that's a little bit of an overextension. Oh, no, now Moo, please. This Tombstone will get it. Oh, he got denied. Wow. So he doesn't even get the gold from it. Nice job by Fenrir.
They're kind of walking him back a bit, but he's still pretty tanky. A little too hard to be able to take down.
So. Moo may never die, but I'm not sure how much he's actually going to be able to do. Like, we just saw it there, right? The level 1 Timber Chain's like, I'm going to get you. Ugh.
Well,
and he can't reach
maybe
him.
Someday later.
Yeah, maybe when I'm level 15 and have all my skills maxed out.
If we haven't lost, I'll get you.
No, I'll try. And now, PL's doing decent. As you saw, PL got a little bit of free farm there and also just goes to the jungle like he's doing right now. And that's what you have to do. You just have to maximize the map.
Yeah, it's a slow farm for now. He just has to hope he can build up a good amount of farm and then make it out of that mid game really well. Top, we're seeing a bit of a dive. Good commitment from Moo to look to go for Fenrir. Looks like he should be able to get it done, and he does. Easy chop down right there, and the undead one goes back into the grave yet again.
Yep.
2-2.
Oh, they're actually looking. He does have 9 stick charges.
March is here. The 3 of them looking to swarm on in. Can they get this value grab on the Sylar now? Yeah, you're right. With the Haunt, it's going to be a little too hard. They set up the sleep, though. The return to Fenrir. And, you know, they're just pap to posture up. Meanwhile, bottom lane, they're also diving behind the tower here casually.
Yep, I like this because they know they can do that. They're like, wait, we have a Spectre who can just make it a 3-on-1 bottom. Unfortunately, no detection because Well, Miranas usually don't get their ult at level 6, and forcing her to pretty good. So both safe lanes just feel like, oh no, they don't want to go there anymore.
Yep. Well, now they're going to take the action here at the top lane, swinging it back and around with the Icarus dive, who gets the punch on in, and then they have to pull off. Lots of footsie action here, lots of flirting from J.Storm, but unfortunately they're not getting the second base, Grant.
Yep, they're not. Well, Tombstone's gonna go down. They were so scared that they probably could have kept diving, but once you see if Tiny, you know Tiny can TP, there's no way you want to do that. He will just clean up your entire team.
Yeah, he's holding that TP for now, but
right.
He's gonna farm up the mid lane whilst he can to build up closer towards that Blink Dagger. But we could see, yeah, action kick off in just a hot second between the Haunt and some TPs out from that Tiny.
This is normal best of one stuff. Like, you don't just want to do these crazy aggressive dives. You will play safer. I mean, it takes one mistake and you could just lose the game.
For sure. And Milan, unfortunately, might have mistakenly overstepped himself. Long Icarus dive back and around. They look to go for the Spectre here. Goes for the Haunt jump and is able to create a bit of distance to be able to make it away. But Fenrir does get caught in arms here a bit between Moo and March. There's the sleep setup. There's the chop. Moo claims another life.
Simple as that. The only problem with that is because you rotate March top, now you have this XXS just farming bottom. He's actually going to take the first tower of the game, it looks like bottom. And this Necro is the top CS on their team, almost top CS in the game, and a very farm Necro can be extremely hard to kill.
Got the Veil on Q, already has a recipe, obviously, with just the Helm of the Iron Will, just 100 gold away before it is fully incomplete. And I noticed before Moo, who's finishing off that top tier 1, has that Lotus Orb now in Q.
Oh. Surprisingly, Radiant gets the first tower, and ooh, I like how XSS is playing, but Frev does a good job. He arrows the siege unit. You have to do that in these pushes, and that pretty much saves the tower right now because of it.
Yep. It's pretty close to deny range here.
Oh, man.
But
I would be surprised if Radiant rotated down here. I mean, they have March going down, but he's only level 5. I think you just give this tower up.
Yeah.
Maybe not, though.
I will hold it for as long as I can. But yeah, March actually wants to come in. The arrow's not quite there. The sleep comes after. Now Bryle's showing up. Moonlight Shadow to help mix things up. And with Moo coming into action, full reinforcements here for J.Storm, but a quick and hasty escape. And Necro is gone. He would have been the real big juicy target to take down, but they'll have to settle for Baboka instead. I guess in the meantime, they can segue this into a tier 1 push attempt. But that is a lot of resources committed.
It is. If they get that tower, it's worth it, but I don't think they can push it. So they're just going to farm the jungle, farm bottom, and meanwhile, no one's really middle. Just Fenrir sitting as an Undying. Just chilling like, oh, yeah, sure, I'll try to get a level 5, 6, whatever.
Free. Sure.
Experience
Why not?
is good. As a support, when you see an empty lane, you're like, team's not complaining about something, you just slowly sneak in there and you steal the experience. They're like, wait, why are you middle? Oh, I'm coming top.
So nobody was here. I'm just keeping it warm for you.
You're good, you're good. I won't steal anymore. I think that it could be Milan getting his 6 and Undying just getting that max level tombstone. I think that's when the fights are really going to start popping off.
For sure. Milan's in trouble, though. Top lane, daggers out. The Icarus dives.
Back.
Comes right back. All right.
He's not scared. He knows he won't get hit. Like,
Maybe
he can literally outrange it.
Well, if he baited him into a right-click fight, I guess they were hoping for an arrow to come in. But meanwhile, on the southern front, Moo getting hit hard, and there comes the Grim Reaper. Slices down and takes out the Timbersaw.
Something just like that. Even a Hood wouldn't have saved him there, so that's fine. But a little out of position. I mean, you know you're a tanky boy. He actually is extremely tanky already, but as we've seen, pretty much all the kills have been 4 hero commitments to a lane. Yep. It's 4-3 at 13 minutes, and it's just been huge commitments to get these kills. The teams are playing very nervous, and I mean, rightfully so. You're in the major and
tournament life.
Yeah.
One more win gets you that much more money, that many more points.
Yep. Oh, and Fenrir gets the good counter ward there, securing his jungle.
Yep. Slow creep approach. We see Tower officially finished off finally there in that bottom lane. XXS is going to be able to pick it up. Frev showing himself in the lane. He has backup nearby, but there's no one really looking to make the call or make the jump. Everybody's kind of content on getting back to their grind of farm.
Yep, and surprisingly, the PL is actually the highest level in the game now. The Tiny's rotated once top and twice bottom, and the PL just farms the jungle, then creeps get pushed in the middle, and he just farms. And this is what I like from J.Storm. You know, they're not playing the spear breaker kind of game. They're actually playing a much more reserved game, and the one time they did it with this TB, it worked out. Uh-oh, looks like they want to go on top with this.
Yep, but Moonlight Shadow, Baboka just waiting on the side. I'm not sure if they saw him creeping in. They do have that ward, actually, so they see him.
Look at this. Looks like both. That's very rare. Both teams want to ward the same side of the map, but 2 Radiant wards top, 2 Dire wards top.
The tombstones dropped, and it's making J.Storm kind of second guess on their commitments. But meanwhile, mid lane, jump in, Veil set up with that. He tries to doppelganger out, does manage to make it up north. Mark looks to step in to help him out, but now with the Haunt coming in, it's just going to be way too much. A tree flies forward, and they're going to get the finish there. Moose steps in to help things out. XXS is barely surviving. He gets hit with the Soul Rip, and he's going to be fine, but Moo will not let him escape. Finally able to bring him down. It's a 2-for-1 trade. Moo now has to walk out the other side, but meanwhile, Tiny continues to clean up.
You are now seeing the power of middle Tiny. When he has levels and has farm, he's doing 800 burst damage at 14 minutes in twice. Feels pretty good. Yeah, in the fight recap, as you see, the Tiny just 1,800 damage. What are you gonna do?
Call Ghostbusters?
Yeah, you might have to. I do love what the Tiny and Spectre did. Spectre got hit by the Fire Spirit, but still just went and hit the egg. Level 1 egg is absolute garbage. Like, as long as there's two, you could be 2 people both Fire Spirited and you will kill it. That is how bad level 1 egg is.
It's one of those like Fabergé eggs or whatever that they fall off the table, they just obliterate
shatters.
into pieces.
Like, some rich person buys it for 65,000, but you just even look at it and it just shatters.
Damn, you must be ugly.
Yeah, love some Fabergé. That's a classy word there.
I hope I said that right.
I believe you did.
All right,
I thought you were thinking of paper mache eggs, but works too.
5 to 6. Only Moo kind of really leading the pack for his own team. Obviously, Bryle's going to have to find some time to build up some nourishment for himself, but Aster are in action mode.
They are.
Without a doubt, and they're on the prowl already once again. While they have that Tiny with the Blink Dagger, there's really no reason why they can't continue to go to work here. So the 3 of them begin the rotation up towards the top.
That's so scary.
They see Forever late. They look to make the jump. Immediate dunk, immediate kill before Moo can even react. And as he tries to timber chain in, they stop him conveniently with the fissure. He's not going to be able to do anything about it. Just a great hit and run from the 3 stack there.
Up. And all the while, Sylar. It's pretty much been Milan versus Sylar for most of this game, and he's happy. And as you see, he's going the old school build. He is going for that first item Radiance. Against the PL, obviously, insanely good.
Meanwhile, mid lane, chops onto Tiny. Turns the corner, walks out and away, but Moo says, let's dance a bit.
Yep. They're not killing him, it doesn't feel like. Unless you have the Reaper's Scythe, and once he gets that hood, it's going to be even tougher. He is going for it after the Bloodstone.
Okay, yeah, I was super confused by the item progression, I guess, a bit there, but he does get that Bloodstone complete. Just got to be careful, though.
Yeah, I'm feeling rough about J.Storm right now, because this Spectre is pretty much from they were 1 to 2K up right now, and once that Radiance comes up, farms so much quicker, is much more impactful in fights, and then PL just becomes a lot worse because of it.
Yep. Well, they're trying to mend something out of it right now. They see Baboka pushing out that top lane, and they frantically head that direction to see if they can catch him. Goes to hide within the side shot.
You know, man, you see all that. We see Diffusal for PL, and then a blink on Earthshaker, and I believe, was that a blink on Necro as well? Yep, a blink on Necro. So they have 3 blinks on Aster. They actually just want to, and then you have Spectrals as well. That's like 4 blinks. They actually can just get on you so damn quick.
Anyone. They can instant jump the PL on a fly, jump, Veil, toss combo coming out with everyone else's company here. And as they look to battle things out, it is going to be XXS claiming that Tier 1 tower. J.Storm thinking about chasing here a bit, trying to go for the snappy finish on the Fenrir. They will be able to get it with the assistance coming in from Moo, but will they finish him off? 4 hit right now. Toss combo comes out. Reaper slams down Moo, and those are going to be charges down. Bryle tries to slip on out. March going for the Valiant Grip is going to be able to help in assisting on that finish. But here comes Spectre. Sylar's happy to chop him on down.
Tiny.
Ooh, he does get burnt. Nice snipe right there from Milan. It may cost him his life, though. He gets body blocked from Baboka right now. Not letting him by at all.
Yep, and I think for Milan, it's kind of, you give, well, it splits the gold, but you get that solo kill pretty much. Milan solo kills a Tiny and gets level 10 off of it, almost level 11, and it almost has a Spear Vessel, so worth it. I mean, J.Storm, I would say, won that fight, besides maybe the Timber losing a ton of that. Yarrow.
Little Robin Hood over here.
But can't get him.
Yeah, doesn't quite have the firepower yet.
Yep. That's the thing, that's what...
Uh-oh. They blink in, there's the Veil.
Should be okay.
Yeah, he doesn't have that Reaper Scythe, obviously, and he's able to quickly TP the hell out of there.
And we saw the Necro, he's the big counter to the Timber. Like, guys, you don't have to kill him. Just get him below this threshold, and I will finish him the rest off, and it worked out.
PL is sporting some good farms suddenly. He just popped up on that net worth. He's got the Diffusal on hand. This might be a good power peak, if you will, for J.Storm. They can make something out of it.
I think you do, because he has a full hood coming out. Moo has a hood as well. Maybe you just group up as 4 or 5 and just push the towers, which it looks like they're kind of doing.
Try to go against the timing of the Spectre as much as possible here, or at least if you can get some of these very critical towers down, you can restrict a lot of the farm that's available to her.
Yeah, because she has the relic now, at least, or the gold for it. And that means in about 1 or 2 more minutes, you are going to have a full Radiance on this Spectre at about 20 minutes. And that is damn scary with the 3 other blinks as well. Like, they have plenty of counter initiation, regular initiation, sustain with the Necro as well as the Undying. It's going to be so hard to kill him.
Yeah, March going to be wincing for sure once the Haunt comes out with that Radiance. Okay, jump committed to the bottom, immediate up and down, boom, goes the birdie. Tiny picks that one up with ease. March looking to set up the sleep arrow, but it's not going to be there. Dunk between the 2 as Moo jumps into play. It's a 1-for-1 trade. Buyback comes out from Milan, says, I want to get my egg in this fight right now. Oh, Reaper's Scythe comes out and is going to get the finish onto Forev. It's a 2-for-0 trade from Aster, but they're not done yet. Looking to dive in. Now with the egg, trying to finish him off. Moo looks to go for the finish of the Tombstone. And with the grip, they should be able to get the finish of the Necro. That's not too bad.
I'll take that.
Makes it a 2-for-2.
Yep. Not only that, you also get the, I mean, it is a pretty big deal. You get the 200 gold from Tombstone. That's like getting a kill. Yep. I mean, well, the gold-wise, you don't make them lose gold, but you gain a big chunk. And yeah, gold change, about 400, not too bad.
And that was without the PL. I mean, that was pretty much a 4-on-5.
Yep.
With bird buyback, too. So.
Good thing about that is Phoenix still has Spirit Vessel. Not too, whatever, I bought back. I'm just a support. Came in there, got another kill. And it looks like that they're doing what we thought. They're just grouping up before the Spectre has Radiance, and that's what you have to do. You've got to get these towers down, as you said. Make sure the jungle is actually invadable.
Moo's got his pipe totally complete.
Wow. Too bad. I'm really surprised J.Storm, they turned it around with this kind of run at you. They're still doing the kind of run at you attitude. It's just the Spectre's countering them a tad.
It's definitely mixing things up onto Aster a bit, or throwing them off their game of how, I don't want to say reckless, but how just abrasive J.Storm are in these fights.
Yeah, because this team is down, I mean, just like MVP, Phoenix back in the day, this team is one of a kind to play against. Even if you think, I mean, they're the 3rd string NA team, right? I mean, they qualified 3rd from this, but they just play with such a different style than any other team in this tournament. If you don't scrim them, even if you don't think they're the best players, like, they just play such a weird style.
Scrappy.
Real gym rats in there, you know. They really get in there 6 a.m. They're ready to practice, and
you got your boxers, your Moo type fighters, and you got your drunken brawlers that you just don't want to be swinging at the local bar. You know,
when you see Moo on that Timber Saw, you know he's just flying in. You're like, what the hell? It's like 5-on-1. He's flying in at you.
What the hell? Did he just rip off his shirt? I think he did.
Oh God, get out of here!
Hard commitment here from Aster. A 4-man smoke. Look at these gangbusters just running down the mid lane. They're looking for trouble.
Yeah, and look at that. All. They just got 3. I still can't believe they have 3 blinks. Tiny, ES, and Necro. Like, if they see someone, they're just all just going to go on top
Look
of him.
At this. The courier just barely navigates up and over. Like, anyone comes across, they're just in trouble.
Yep. Oh, I think they saw Brow, but do they have detection because it's Moonlight Shadow? They have 1 sentry down. Guess who's going to run into it? Might be Milan.
You know what? If you lose Milan for this full 4-man heavy rotation only, I think that's okay. Meanwhile, back and behind, a grip set up, and they might be able to snipe down the Necro. Good grab from behind, comes out from J.Storm. But now with the Haunt coming out, things get a bit frantic here, and they are going to be able to take out March. Dunk's there, only onto 1. Bryle's going to be able to doppelganger back to the high ground to make it away. They continue their chase. Moose slipping across to the other side, looking to catch Baboka, possibly from behind here, but Aster are out. Arrow's not going to find anyone. Baboka's going to be able to safely leave. And, you know, it's not as significant of a fight at the end of the day as you'd imagine for how hard of a commitment it was between both teams.
Yeah, it is. And I'm looking at the net worth, and I'm like, damn, Moo has so much farm, and so does PL. PL just bought a Reaver. PL just straight up bought a Reaver.
Where's all that farm just coming from? I think just all the movements we're seeing from Aster are just soaking away from a lot of the farm time. Here we see a replay of the action
here.
Nice
done by Baboka right there. Just making sure if Milan leaps away and gets the egg off, that fight goes god-awful for him. And then, look at the PL illusions. They just kill the Tombstone. That's what the panel is talking about. Like, if PL's in the pool and you have an Undying, no heroes were hitting it, just illusions. And it works out. And that grip, man. March is doing such a good job. Like, he's just in the river, too. Like, he's just straight up in their face gripping him. He's doing a great job.
And they're all Aster. I mean, it's great that they all have these blink daggers and they all start jumping ahead, but if one of them's not able to make the jump in time, we saw there the Necro getting caught from behind. You know, too far from the rest of his team suddenly.
This is... honestly, a free Roche. I am very surprised Aster is letting him do this. I guess they're nervous because they don't have Tombstone and Phoenix. They know has egg.
It definitely feels like Aster are more affected by the best of one situation at the moment than J.Storm are.
Yeah, it does. It feels like J.Storm, even though they drafted a tad differently than before, they're still playing the same game.
Yeah.
And Aster, they seem to be just... They're playing on a timer when I don't think they really need to be.
Pretty much since the laning phase. Laning phase, it was great for them.
Yeah.
But since then, it feels like things have been just kind of just a little awkward on how they want to kind of achieve their goals.
And we haven't seen much from this Necro, honestly. As you said, dominated the laning phase, and he's got picked off 3 times by Grip now, I believe. Like, March has done a good job in like, yo, Necro, we kill this guy? They don't really have the sustain anymore.
Going for a Lotus, it looks like, next. I'm curious how many things that's actually going to be able to benefit from him. I know it's going to, benefit on purging off a couple of things that could be a nuisance, like Diffusal, for example.
Fire Spirits,
Spirits,
and the Spirit Vessel. Spirit Vessel is always one of the biggest things, especially on a Necro, right? Because if you Ghost Shroud with that still on you, you don't heal that much, but take it off and you're good.
But one of the things, the downsides to Lotus, is it doesn't really add any stats. And,
no,
Necro's going to be much thicker, much tankier. And, we could see him get chopped up even easier from Moo in the next swing.
That's the one thing. Lotus, it always sounds like it's going to be good, and then you're like, oh, cool, I get 10 armor, 2 mana regen for 4,000 gold. Like, it just feels so awkward to build that item. And well, they finally have some damage on this Mirana, flying out the Maelstrom. We saw the Radiance last fight, has a Yasha. Both Spectre and PL are farming decently, but this PL has a full heart and 200 gold, and that
every time we click on him, he's got some new level up. He's Brile.
I talked to him yesterday. I'm like, he's like, what should I pick? He's like, do you want to see my quab? And I'm like, if you ever say that again, I'm not talking to you. I'm like, just play carry, play your TV. And Aster actually first phase banned it, which was pretty surprising to me. It's one of the first phase TV bits. Sorry, I'm like alliterating, running over my own words here. They're just going to get a tier 2. Looks like both teams, possibly, they're very scared to go on this tower bottom. And they're just going to throw the tombstone like, nah, we're not letting you defend this tower.
Yeah, they'll get it down. Both teams will get their trade. Are they going to race for it here?
Dude, there's an age. You
cannot
race this. Yeah, you cannot race this if you're Aster. You got to get back.
And before they can even get back as 5, they're thinking about making a mild move here, possibly for XXS. Good Fissure blocks him in, but Brile's not too worried just yet, obviously. Still holds the Aegis, can doppelganger out, does so there. Now jumping in from Moo, looking to take it right to the Necro here, is going to be forced to. Dished out the Ghost Shard and is totally on defensive mode. Jumping forward though with the dunk, but it is just not good enough, and now it's going to be a grip on the Tiny, which does get obviously quickly canceled out. The Egg's going to be there to try to make it pass from it, but they can't stop it at all. And here comes Brile and company. J.Storm suddenly moving in and going for the base.
Brile is just playing out of his mind. Now they're going to kill Fender. They might kill the Boca again on the back. They get the Reapers on prep. That was like almost the end. They get
Brile, more mana to work with though. And here comes XXS. He's looking to go for some revenge here. Real nice turnaround coming out from Aster, bullying back J.Storm and keeping him outside the base, and they will be able to clean house here.
Full HP. This is going to be a tough kill. Do you even go for it?
I don't know.
I don't think you do. I think you just let Brile leave. But we'll see.
Says, come to me, I'll stun you down in his spot. Brile thinks about possibly considering a chase onto him, hits him with the side diffusal, but he's got to worry about the Necro and the Spectre here. Oh, no funny juke plays, was not able to make it up with the Doppelganger, unfortunately. And that's technically a 6-man wipe.
Yeah, it sure is, and wow, not only that, you lose the Bloodstone charges on Timber, so you do lose your tier 3, and was it just, it looks like, buyback only from the Earthshaker there, so honestly, pretty good fight for Aster, even though they lose tier 3. And you see the replay right here. The dunk, it barely hit the Mirana. Only the damage did. Like, if Baboka got even a 2-man dunk, would have been a lot better for the team.
This fight got really split up. We saw a hard commitment from Moo here in just a second as he tried to dive in and go for the finish on XXS, which he was pretty close to, but we saw the chakram totally off its mark there. Unfortunately, may have been a little bit of the difference. And at that moment is when we did see Aster make that jump for the back line. Wasn't the biggest connection with the dunk like you were talking about. Tiny even caught off his positioning a bit. But even with all that, Aster's still able to hold really nicely here. Even the A able to get off.
And that's why it actually is. This Spirit Vessel is the only thing that's like gonna destroy Necro, because we saw when he pops that Ghost Shroud, he got soul ripped from 25% to 100% just to soul rip healing him.
Jump in combo, easy pick onto Forev here in the top lane.
And now you kind of feel the scales here. They get a tier 3, and all of a sudden these pickoffs are coming.
Yeah, this game's feeling close now. Much, much closer.
They're all rotating up top, though, on J.Storm. Will they find anyone? Doesn't look like it.
Bryle's here in lane. Fenrir is watching from the outside. But we do have J.Storm here as well. They could think that they're good to make a jump on the Bryle and then quickly get caught out, but J.Storm do show themselves. Imovoka from behind, looking to sweep in. It's the duck, it's the kill. Milan, gone. Same goes for March. And Aster are back. And they're going to take Bryle too.
Oh my
All right,
goodness.
Aster are here, and they're good. Okay.
Yep. Scales have officially shifted. They might have overcommitted middle, and it has hurt them bad. And Baboka makes up for the little bit of a missed ulti there. And, well, mid lane in that top one, he hits the Phoenix. This Phoenix is like really all the team fight J.Storm has. And if you pick him off before he gets Fire Spirits and his ulti, you're in a good spot. And they've done it multiple times now.
Aster just went from taking 2 straight team fights, now they're going to take 2 straight towers. The net worth just totally transcended over to their side. 4K and rising fast.
Man, what a crazy game. That's the problem with J.Storm. I mean, their foot's always on the gas, and maybe that fight wasn't the best to take after you lose Forev.
Yeah.
Like, they took that fight with the Mirana just dead.
And we'll have to see if J.Storm can kind of shake that one off a bit.
It's tough, especially when you know you just lost 4 bounty. It's like, it just doesn't feel good when you're like, well, we're not getting any of these.
Dagon build-up coming the way of the Necro, I see. He's looking to go for the quick insta-burst, insta-finish.
And already he has it in stash, all right. And has another 1.2. They just got so much team gold from that fight, like everyone on the team.
Yeah, the supports as well are getting pretty huge.
There's a Crystallis now. Oh my goodness. This Tiny is jacked.
Yep. They're already completing that Shadow Blade too, so he's got huge bursting potential right now. And well, I was curious, do you think a Silver Edge even necessary to build into this game at some point?
I think you.
Tiny?
For the Tiny, maybe. Against the Timbersaw, it might just be like a 5th or 6th item where it could work out. For the PL, definitely. The PL can actually beat Spectre pretty decently late game with like a Nullifier as well as a Silver Edge. And we'll see if that's what he goes for. The biggest thing for me is, so far this tournament, Miranas just feel underwhelming, except for like Ramses. Ramses like been the only real, and that one Yawar game. He had a really good one, but like Forev, he was kind of their one position this game, and he's level 15 with really no items at all. Like, he does nothing in team fights. And that's a big difference from his Mirana in the TI Open qualifiers.
Comes J.Storm, looking to possibly reclaim their turf.
Oh, they're
Look at the positioning of Aster, though. They might manage to swing it from behind onto Aster. Can they get the jump? This is their best chance to try to pull this game back if possible. The egg is there, but they're just going to run right out from it. Here comes the Haunt. Like a defensive dunk, but boom! Instant burst, though, comes out from Moo. This might be it for J.Storm now. Heavy Sunray burst, but Sylar is able to turn and look to go for the finish onto March XXS. Swift mega kill as he gets that takedown of Forev. Moo, though, looking to sweep in and try to tilt the favor back their way in this fight. He's got to get the finish onto XXX. Can he get it done? Yes, he can. All right, something favorable beginning to go back the way of J.Storm here.
This is just a different game than we've been watching, right? We've been seeing like kind of these one-sided games and weird ones. This game is just fight after fight, like actual 5-on-5 fighting almost every other minute. It's been going in favor of different teams, right? We just saw Aster take 2, and then all of a sudden, hey, Milan gets a good egg off, and they just win.
That was such a nice convenience of timing as we see Moo get a swift snipe on the Tiny right there. Just, all right, I'll take that freebie.
Yeah.
But the timing on that one, the way they were, and we'll see here, they managed to go up that hill and all the way around before Aster was positioned to see from the high ground. So just all too convenient for Storm to be able to find a great approach into this fight.
Looking at a Tombstone, is it really even doing anything? It's sitting up on the hill, no one's hitting it, but it doesn't seem like Radiant really cared about it that whole time. And was another man. Forev's just not going to have a game, I don't think. I think Forev's already get a BKB, and that's about the best you're going to do, because he just got chased down by the Necro, and he's been Necro-ulted twice in a row now. He's still dead for 15 seconds, by the way. Like, it's not a fun game for him.
Go to the bathroom, I guess, if you needed to, but we have both PL and Moo to kind of pick up the deeps, in the meantime.
Are you a guy in pubs who pauses the game to go to the bathroom, or you just go? You just go?
If I don't know, I'm responsible enough to go before the game.
Okay, not hold it. What about a bottle?
No, never.
Okay, no. Me, I just don't pause. I just click a lane and then go to the bathroom and hope it's, you know, a quick one.
It could work if you're an ogre or spirit breaker like you like, I guess. So sure enough.
And I'm looking. Sylar actually has a butterfly and pretty much one more Nutricram. Radiant's Manta Butterfly. not the most survivability here, but I guess you have the Necro as well as the Undying, and they haven't really been aiming, right? Spectre always goes in last, like, hey, you guys start the fight, wait 5 seconds, and I promise I'll be there. Like, he never wants the attention to be on him, and this Roche could, this is going to be a big fight. There's no way
J.Storm tried to scan, but they were not approaching from that side. They're coming down and through the river. I don't know if J.Storm are going to see it there. The Moonlight Shadow comes out. They try to pop the dust from out there, but it's not quite close enough. Moose sees him coming, tries to stalk and move. Bryle wants to move in, and that's where we see Aster pull back. Aster do not want to get caught outside of each other, and they're already going to be losing Fenrir.
Yep.
And now they go back to the road.
Yep, they're super scared because they pop the Spirit Vessel on Tiny, which means the Necro had to use Lotus Orb on him, and this Necro doesn't want to fight if he can't use Lotus Orb on himself, because he will actually be useless. So they have to be careful with these cooldowns. And look at this.
As he tried to Timber Chain, nice move, toss combo, Reaper Scythe comes out, but it's not going to be nearly good enough. The follow-up dunk will be good enough, and Moo's going to be going down. Bryle very low, barely able to make it back and away with the egg there to help out. He's going to make a safe escape. They try to chase him, but he's out the other side. Meanwhile, March, nice grip from the high ground, locking the Earthshaker in his place. Milan trying to make it back and away, but can't. Meanwhile, inside the pit, it's Forev being taken down as Aster take control back, but buybacks are going to be coming out from J.Storm. They cannot let this one slip away. And now a buyback from the other side. Very valuable moment for both teams here as they just dump the money.
This is just, I mean, it's only 21-28, but these fights are just, they're intense. It's just straight up 5-on-5. No one's farming, no one's split pushing. They all want to be there every time.
Tournament life on this right now.
Is he crazy?
They're real frisky with this one. Out of position, XXS tries to head up north to be able to make it away. The chase is there for Moo. Meanwhile, Bryle says, I'll just take the Roche. Gladly picks up the Aegis. The cheese is still there. They managed to frantically be able to pick it up, but they lost Moo. And like you said, he has no buyback if they wanted to get back into the swing of action here. Meanwhile, though, Bryle does manage to clean up little Fenrir on the way out, and he'll even grab the tombstone, too.
What an odd fight. It looks like J.Storm actually lost 2,000 gold and all that. I mean, the buyback, but they get the Roche on Bryle, or the Aegis on Bryle. I think they're okay with that. They lost the buyback, but at least you get PL, the Aegis, and you steal it from Spectre or Necro.
Pause. Everyone just take a moment to breathe here. It's a hell of an intense game right here, and we'll get a replay on that. I'm curious about that.
Another great egg. Like, Milan, he is their team fight, and he is making sure his egg doesn't die now.
Now, they made the jump for Moo right here.
Ulti didn't kill him, which was big.
Yep.
He did end up dying to this dunk. Like, Baboka and Milan are both playing very well for the 4 position. They're doing exactly what they have to now.
But because of that egg, Bryle heads out the other direction.
And gets his heart regen.
I know. If he happened to move up towards the ancient camp, he would have been caught up by the Earthshaker and dead. But good positioning by them. They step out to the other side. Forever, unfortunately, he still feels like he's not able to contribute a whole lot in these fights. But he tries. Like,
look at his item. Isn't this where I'm looking in this Forever? He has this exact same items and the exact same gold as last time we saw him. He did have to buy back it, which is one of the big reasons. But man, it is not feeling very good.
Otherwise, you're a Moonlight Shadow and maybe an arrow if you can catch it. You know.
Yep. But you do see at the end of that, they get the Roche, and with Moo coming back, he tanks for him. I guess he's like, "Yo, I'm gonna die again. I die back. Bryle, please get the Roche." And he does, and Sylar's doing a lot of damage because he went that butterfly build. Like, if they don't aim him as they haven't been, they're just gonna run roughshod on you.
Still got what feels like almost a minute before Moo's gonna be back up and into action right here. This is an opportunity for both teams to spread, to get some vision down. Certainly Aster are doing so.
Okay, Silver Edge is complete on PL. The question is, will he ever? I mean, the thing is, all you have to do is Silver Edge and hit the Spectre. The Spectre's not dumb. The Spectre's not just going to be at the front lines like, yo, hey, what's up, everyone? Oh, I just got Silver Edge. Like, it's nearly impossible for this PL to get on top of the Spectre.
March.
Quick
easy
one.
Grab.
Real easy.
Easy grab. Easy scout right there. And Aster will try to segue this into a tier 2 push. But Moonlight Shadow from the J.Storm squad, who's about to be back up. Will they look to take a fight the second he returns? He's TPing towards the front line.
Looked like J.Storm wanted to, but obviously Aster knew that. They know they're like, well, it's 4v5. They're like, wait, Bane doesn't really do anything. We got to be careful of Bryle, the Egg, and Moo.
Yeah, for sure.
And that was, yeah. I mean, it's just like his Mirana. I praised it as one of the best Miranas during the TI qualifiers, and it's still very good. But he's had a completely rough game.
Fenrir.
It's
an arrow. I may have overhyped it a bit, but they are going to think about chasing him and see if
he
they can finish. No, they got him.
Tombstone goes down.
Snoozing at the wheel a bit, but it looks like he might have been saved. Good little Fisher drops the Tombstone, has to hand over the gold, but whew, that was scary for a little sport.
I like how I'm just looking at Peel's quick buy. He has the tome. He's like, please let me get the doppelganger cooldown. I need it. You don't need it, March, even though you're level 4 or something. I don't know.
March is like, I guess.
Please. And Timber Chain on level 25 Timber Saw. That's going to be nice. But it just feels like this Spectre has played so... I mean, it's Sylar, right? Like, obviously, maybe the most legendary, especially in this game, and has just played perfectly. Has never been caught out of position. Always ults after someone else goes in.
Popular for 2 big things. Huge core play and falling to liquid.
Yep, that's what it is. And the core play right now is the big one. You don't want to be the one who falls to liquid and then J.Storm as well.
Yeah,
and Sylar knows that.
All right, Aster back on the move forward here. We have an Aegis that should be limited on time. J.Storm might know that too.
So it's about 2.5 minutes here.
Oh, a jump here. They have so many sentries down. Might have gotten a glimpse there of the tiny. Brile tries to make a move forward. Tombstone's committed.
Poor Tombstone.
And it gets quickly taken out. Not even a Soul Rip's going to be able to save it there. Paramedic Milan hitting with the Sunray from behind, but J.Storm are starting to strut their stuff down the mid lane. Aster need to back off and reposition a bit.
That's crazy. You don't see an aggressive PL like this that often. He's like, yo, let's go, go, go. Like, it's usually, I want to go farm. Yeah,
ready, bro.
Chill, yeah. You have an Aegis, a heart, and a hood. We don't.
It's a crazy man swinging a bat around. You don't like that.
Oh, they're going to get this. I mean, this Shrine's not the biggest deal. Obviously, it makes it a lot easier. You can get some wards, counter wards down easier. They can't rotate to these fights. And now you kill both Shrines. It means Roche is just way easier to take for that third one when it comes up.
Yep. Lots of money in the pocket, though, for Sylar. He hasn't queued up yet what he wants to go for. You know, just, I don't know, Heart?
I think Heart's pretty good here. I'm trying to think what else. I mean, Scotty wouldn't be bad. I mean, just a little bit. Survival is going to be decent. Could as well be an Abyssal Blade if they want to go for some lockdown, but who cares? I mean, I would not expect the third item Butterfly in a game like this, but he's pulled it off, so I don't even want to question what he's going.
We have 4 bounties. 40-minute mark going the way of J.Storm this time.
Well, not yet. They're still 2 top. They're just chilling.
Oh, what did I see 4 of? Oh, those were the other runes. My bad.
Oh yeah, and some bottles. No, you're good. It looks like they are going to get all 4 since I don't think Aster had. They can't really get to that top lane. They're like, all right, we'll TP to our shrine we don't have, and we're gonna look for it.
They can't even really get out of the base right now. They just have Necro dancing out front.
Isn't it crazy too? Because it's been a 2 to 4K lead for Aster, and usually when you're in the lead, you're not hiding in the base.
They're playing super cautious. Feels like at least Aster have been definitely. A
little bit more passive for sure.
More passive, yeah.
Peel now just queues up the Manta to his Spectre. Still doesn't want to show us what's up. I think maybe going to the secret shop will. There it is, the sell. Yep, full heart. So it will be.
Nice
now,
and tonke.
Yeah, this is going to be a. Unless Brile does get a silver hit on the Spectre, it's going to be tough. And I don't see the silver edge hit coming. Like, Sylar's positioning has been far too good for that.
Moo does finish that BKB. He's got 10 seconds of BKB to work with in the next fight as well.
6 Bloodstone charges. Feels pretty bad about that. But at least you have the Sheevas already, so you have a little bit more mana. Oh, middle.
Ooh, they do get the fissure. Arrow doesn't find its target. They're trying to follow up and go for the complete finish, but now he decides to pop the BKB, looks to turn around, instant burst fire. He's going to get the finish onto Fenrir. Drop the tomb, they clean it up.
Double.
Going to be committed. Dunk catch there from the side.
Stun for Rev.
Rev is going to be able to Moonlight Shadow and walk out the other direction. Aster fire off a couple of cylinders and don't get any kills, and now kind of question what their commitments are going to be. And
they got to get out.
Frantically make their escape. That's confidence now for J.Storm. They just weathered that storm, and now they're going to take the fight on forward.
Going.
Hard dive from Moo. They're looking to punish the Necro, not going to look to make him back. Nice force save from Baboka, but is it going to be good enough? They're not going to let him get back. They're going to chase them both down and try to finish him off. Necro desperate to make it inside, but can't. 90 seconds, no buyback.
Oh, man. I pray they get another in Baboka.
No buyback on Tiny either.
This could very well be this could be game.
This could be game.
If they know, do they know this? If they've written down the time, they don't know Necro doesn't have buyback. He hasn't bought back. He just doesn't have the gold. We know he does, but they don't know that. If they want, they could just end it. Yeah.
I think they got this racks for sure.
Yeah. I think they've got 1 or 2 racks, if not the game. They could definitely pressure the... I don't think they want to because they don't know Necro doesn't have buyback. So.
No dunk either. Okay, he got the money for the buyback. Tiny's back in. Thank goodness for them. That might be enough for J.Storm to back off. Yeah, okay.
A little surprised they go all the way back, but they know. They just won that fight. They know there's no haunt up. They can go get all the runes again at the 45-minute mark, push all the lanes, and that's the biggest thing. Just keep the lanes pushing, keep them in their base. And Roche may respawn in 15. That's going to be the big one. If it's a quick one, J.Storm might end this game and just right after Roche.
I was incorrect on that. It wasn't the money, it was the timing, it looks like.
For that
money,
one.
Yeah, because money.
The money is an extra, yeah.
He's got plenty of money in hand still.
Oh, there we go. Marana got the BKB, and I know we're kind of insulting a little. I mean, it is slow, but now that you have that BKB, you just leap in, you just go kill one of the supports. Like, Forever, you're on just killing Earthshaker duty or something, and you can because you have a 10-second BKB.
All right, here we go. Moonlight Shadow.
No March there.
They're going to see the crossing of Sylar, but they don't want to go.
Yep.
Too high a risk. Could have been a high reward, but if things were to go sour, then Aster pretty much are just right back square even in this game.
And once again, it feels like Bryle as well as Sylar are both playing so well. They're both positioning well. They're both going on the right targets. And Bryle's probably so happy with this game because he gets 400 gold every fight just from the tombstones because of the talent now. And he doesn't have to do anything. He just kills it with illusions and then chases on. He's going to have a full Abyssal Blade. He didn't go for the Manta. PL is going to be pretty jacked and has the Doppelganger cooldown. You can almost never catch this hero now. Meanwhile, Sylar has the Dispersion talent, so it's a tough kill for sure.
Yeah. But they're still tanked up. They're kind of baiting forward Sylar a bit. The rest of the team just totally congregated together here. The full buddy-buddy system, if you will.
Yeah, and look, you see this gold on the screen. It's crazy. Gold from kills are actually way in favor of Aster, but gold from creep kills way in favor of J.Storm. And hey, sometimes killing creeps is better than
that was an
killing heroes.
arrow hit. He tried to Manta out, but they actually got the right one. But obviously, too close to the team.
Yep. And this is best of one positioning right here. You're like,
yeah.
All five are right behind each other. Like, do we go on this guy? We got the arrow. No. Chill out. They have a Necro and a Tiny.
This is like even more tense than any other moment in the game.
It
They're
is.
like one team fight. It's clearly base Roche objective time.
Yep. And okay, I am nerd. The Aghanim's is on Milan. I'm not even sure if he'll take anyone into the egg with him. It's more about the two. I believe it gives you 2 extra hits. And I know it's 4.2k gold, but 2 extra hits on an egg could very well decide a game.
Yeah.
Who would he take in? Are there any good skills to refresh? No, not really. It's not like they have like another extra tombstone. They just have, I think it's just for those 2 extra hits for Phoenix.
Unless he's...
Someone's
like,
really low and he just like, hey, get in here, bud.
I gotta save you.
Hop on in. We have seen multiple times though.
With the blink, that kind of makes it more of a case, it feels like. He might blink egg as like a desperation attempt to save someone who's on the brink of death anyways.
God, it's just so, like, that has to be so stressful for the Phoenix player. Like, what if he does get a core killed that he didn't mean to? It's like, the game is on you at that point. Like, it's a lot of decision making, but Milan's a very smart guy. Very smart.
Hopefully you don't eat those words in this game, Grant.
Oh, God. Spectre's going for a Mjolnir, obviously, versus his PL. And the thing is, a lot of people think, oh, Spectre is the late game hero. Spectre is not really comparable to TB and PL. Like, TB and PL are much better in the Omega late game, which I would say we're going to reach here in about 5 minutes.
What defines Omega late? 60 minutes? 50 minutes?
I would say just 6 slotted on 2 cores.
Okay.
Like once like say Spectre gets 6 slotted and PL gets 6 slotted, I'll say it's mega late game. Even if it's 30 minutes in, if 2 people are that farm, we're there.
All right, tension now around the Roche pit as Roche is back up. Aster was able to kind of creep themselves right inside the pit, and they planted a couple of sentries down now.
Yep. And the big thing about this is Tiny has no buyback. The only one with a timer on his buyback. Almost nobody has buyback right now except PL, Spectre, and Timber.
They read this. Aster did. They put a sentry on the high ground. They put a sentry on the high ground.
Bryle's
right there. Bryle's right there. They see him. They're thinking about moving in. Oh, he dunked right there onto himself. Unfortunately, not going to be able to get it. Now they're looking to fly on in. Moo goes right within the trees. Exika's forced out the other side. The Boca going to get cleaned up, it looks like, from Moo here. Everyone just frantically split up on this one.
Once again, the Earthshaker. Just another rough ulti right there. And even though they had such good positioning.
Gets Fenrir and gets the extra money.
Yep.
That's Roche for J.Storm if they want, or
Look, probably Roche.
Yeah.
With how this game has been going, like playing a little bit more scared, you definitely just go for the Roche. And
Yeah.
It does feel like Milan's actually pretty much carrying this game, because when he eggs, he's not really stunning anyone, but everyone just has to leave. Like, you can't stand in that. It's doing a ton of damage, and you just got to leave. And it's splitting them all up right now. That is going to be Roche, and this is Refresher Shard. Not really... I mean, you're going to have double Phoenix Egg now, actually. That is big. He's definitely taking that.
Causing the chaos in the fights is just so good against the team fight lineup of Aster. I mean, look at the lineups of J.Storm where they have so much great chase. PL's going to hunt someone down. Moo's going to hunt someone down. I mean, even at this point, Ferev's going to be able to move and chase someone down. So when they're all split up and chaos is caused, that is just something that J.Storm are happy to embrace.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think, how does Aster do this? And a lot of the times you talk about the supports, right? They had a Bane and Phoenix in the early game, not the best. Phoenix scales super well on the other side. It's an Earthshaker and an Undying. Undying is one of the least scaling cores in Dota. Support in Dota.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't do anything. He's level 16, 50 minutes in. He doesn't do anything. He actually just doesn't.
Like, you would need to have money and have an Ags.
Have a Glimmer, an Ag, like even just a Glimmer, but he doesn't have that. And as well, the Earthshaker, it just isn't that far into 4-step and a Bling, and that's where it feels. It feels like Milan is just the one support in this game who's changing it.
Yep. He'll be back in just a second. Well, the Earthshaker, but
XXS.
before that can even happen, XXS is going to go down. He should buy back, though, if he wants to keep his hopes alive in this tournament. They do have a dunk defense still available. No buyback coming out just yet.
He's thinking about it.
Thinking about going
not
for
anymore. Illusion's hitting him.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Fortification. That's just good sense off Ryle. He's just zoning him back, seeing who's coming in.
Oh God, it's so scary because they know the Phoenix has another egg because of the Refresher Shard. Like, it's sword to go in. They're going to try.
Not there. Boo. Happy to be the gatekeeper and force it back.
The arrow actually hits Spectre.
She's stuck in her spot right now, just for a little bit. Grips the follow-up. It's really good, but the Scythe does come out. Looking to go for the victory, but the egg grabs March inside as the Scythe tried to come out, bails him into it. Necro now on the verge of going down as a dieback. 2 minutes out. Nice dunk, though, does catch him. Is there enough damage? Yeah, there is. With the Tiny coming in, he's just swinging it home right now.
Can this
Ryle, though,
do anything?
Yeah, it's just move.
Big question.
Ryle,
Boca should go down here.
Fighting within it right now. Pushing on forward, is going to be able to get the swift takedown of Baboka. Now looking to go for the Tiny next. Baboka does buy back. Ryle says this might be enough for me. Doppelgangers to the low ground, looking to make his escape. Baboka is on the chase. Not when Moose steps in, though.
Yep. And Brow's like, I'll go back in. My heart's here. Like, my heart just regen me to full HP in 5 seconds.
Yes, it did. Arrow. Not going to find anyone. Trying to go for their first Rax finish here. Aster just everything they can to try to stay alive.
Yep. They are going. Siler has to just stand there with the Radiance, obviously slows all this damage down on the buildings even.
Daggers down the illusions and tries to burn them apart. And you got to give credit to Aster. They pull out everything they can to hold the line, and they do. They lose a tier 3, but very minimal damage done on the Rax.
Yep.
The line is held.
And it was a big hold, because that was a double egg. Like, they won the fight. They had to use a couple buybacks, but they hold it. No Rax is lost, and a good job. Baboka, he had a pretty nice dunk. It seems like it feels like every game is won or lost by him, or every fight, I mean. Like, we saw the one by that middle Roche. It was kind of lost because he just whiffed it, and then this one top hits a giant one, gets a double kill, and it kind of sucks. If you're him, you're like, oh God, the game's on me. Oh, heart's pumping.
It is
spaghetti.
His best chances are obviously for these high ground defenses too. It seems like when he has to kind of set it up outside the base in these quick sporadic fights, that's where he really has a difficult time. But all right, back to the drawing board. It looks like here J.Storm are going to be sitting on a much more significant net worth lead, the biggest one they've had of the game so far at about 11K at this moment.
I'm looking, the one struggle still, Ferev has the same items he's had. Like, this is actually, I hate to harp on it, but you're a Mirana. You gotta have items. This is the same items you've had since 37 minutes in, I believe.
Imagine if he did have another big damage item.
Just a Mjolnir or an MKB, like, all of a sudden the Spectre's not as scary either. Like, it's not just on Bryle.
But they are making do with it, and, you know, credit to Ferev, lots of setup potential with the Moonlight Shadow.
now. The Spectre is 6 slotted. If you get a 2 or 3 man dunk with Voka, the ulti from Sylar comes in, they are going to wipe up these fights so quick because this Mjolnir. And look at middle.
They're trying to go for a quick snipe onto Moo with the Creeper snipe, but the save of the egg! The save of the egg, but they are going to be able to crack it and bring it down, so both of them will get dropped. But Brile trying to make the most of it. They simply can't. It's Aster's time now. They get a beautiful jump and a beautiful set, and Brile's frantic to try to be able to make it away. Up to the high ground he goes, but the chase is on, and Aster get what they want.
Yep, and I mean, Moo was going to die anyway, so the egg didn't really get him killed, but the problem was he had to blink egg so quick he couldn't get the fire spirits off, which honestly might have been enough to save, because it's... how many hit counts is that on the egg? It is 13 hits. You get fire spirits on like the Spectre as well as the Necro, you might get it. And now Aster, they're looking for racks. There is buybacks on all the heroes. I don't think Moo wants to, but the other two probably will have to.
Yes, they will, but that's one without an egg. And no grip and no moonlight.
The dunk again, right? When Baboka hits a successful dunk, clears out the Timber Saw, it forces... I'm surprised they didn't just let Moo die. Honestly, like, he was already pretty much dead when Milan blinked in, and now they might lose a rack.
All right, well, one buyback, one tier 3, and already Aster are taking a step back to reposition. Tiny's incredibly low. They will be able to easily swarm onto him and finish him off. He's out for over 2 minutes. The two of them, but, you know, no buyback for Earthshaker. Well, that was a swift end of a push right there.
Yeah, it was, and this one, you know, whoa, he's actually going to find Fenrir. Nice job by Moo. Woo! Can he get him, though?
I don't know.
The Tranquil Boots. He needs to right-click him once, please.
One more Timber Chain. Shiva's. He doesn't even need a Shiva. Just chops him.
Yeah. Oh, 200 gold. If I have to. Brile will take it. And, well, that's a little bit on Aster. You got to know they have buybacks, right? You push into their base. They just buy back and jump on you instantly. You got to be a little bit more careful. But, I mean, we're 55 minutes into a best-of-1 elimination game. I think nerves are out the window. Everything's pretty much out the window. You're just playing Dota. I don't know. You're just playing Dota.
And J.Storm are playing inside the base. They get the first racks down.
Well, they get another.
Shift up towards the top. There's no dunk defense for another minute.
Yep, they know his buyback's on cooldown as well. And oh, look at this. The Sunray damage on Sylar.
They got egg now too.
So much.
This looks like it could easily be 2 racks for J.Storm now.
Yep, and Milan.
I say that, but
Milan I think honestly when Milan gets 25 and you get those 3 supernova hit counts, it actually changes this game even more for them. And well, now we're seeing the problem with Spectre. What does Spectre do? You have treads. What else do you get? You get a Scotty instead of your treads. Like, there's nowhere else for her to go, and that's the problem.
Oh, the arrow does catch her.
My goodness.
All right, Ferev waited for his time, and the time is now. Gets the setup, brings her out. Does have a buyback, but that is quite unfortunate there.
There's the ulti. They just want to get out. J.Storm is running.
They go on the Phoenix. Can they return back? Oh, the slip right there. Bails them out. Nicely done. J.Storm taking it back to him. Moo eating a lot of damage, fighting on forward. Frantic for the stave, and they get her down and get it done. Both are going to be out without a buyback on this one, and J.Storm may have been able to do it. Can they clean out the rest? Tiny staggering his way inside. He has nowhere to run and no more mana. Attempted fissure slide dunk does come out from Baboka, but it might be just too little too late for him. He'll get cleaned up potentially with the rest. Wow. And it looks like this one may belong to J.Storm after all.
March.
Holy moly.
March motherfucking Dota. Woo! How does he just get that? Damn. What a perfect... And this is what we talked about, the late game scaling cores. You don't think of Bane as one, but being able to, you know, just negate a Reaper Scythe that could just turn this whole game around, guess what? March will do it, and they're looking to end the game. Not the best building hitters. Brile's like, must hit quicker, please. Know, win game. This game's stressful.
Aster, we got to send them home. Yep. Aster, don't want to let it happen. They're going to just let the game go all the way.
You got to. They kill the Tombstone. Fenrir, I don't even think Brile wants to kill him. He's like, I don't want to kill another Tombstone. Just let him live. And they get the good game. J.Storm does it with some just clutch plays in the end from, I mean, Ferev still doesn't have the best bar, but he hits a gigantic arrow, which forces the buyback. March makes the play of the game with that Nightmare save, and what a fun game too. Just in general, J.Storm was ahead most of it, but Aster, they had that one big fight in their base. All of a sudden, they're pushing barracks, and then oh no, we overcommitted too much, and then all of a sudden J.Storm's in the other team's base, and that was just a that was just 5-on-5 Dota from like 20 minutes in. Like there was no split pushing. It was just mayhem.
That was insane.
I can't say enough about that March save though. That Nightmare actually just won him the game, I think.
And this had started in a position where Aster had, I would say, a pretty significant laning advantage at the beginning too.
For Aster, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, and man, J.Storm just so freaking scrappy. A very impressive showing by them. You know, Aster, unfortunately, we will be bidding adieu from their major run, but J.Storm live on and move on now through that lower bracket.
And I think, I mean, we've been saying there's not many upsets, but that was definitely one of the bigger upsets, I would say, at least on paper. J.Storm beating